Hey there, I hope everyone's having a great week. Today we are touching on the question, what do I need to disclose when selling my property? A lot of people really struggle with this. They might struggle in the way of, what if I forgot to add something that we fixed and repaired 10 years ago? What do I need to add in? I don't want to overdo it. And so they come to me and they ask, what is important to put on this disclosure? Let me tell you what the disclosure is for. The disclosure is called a property condition disclosure that is required to be completed when you sell a property. The only time that it is not required is in a handful of exceptions that include situations such as an estate or a bank-owned property. It's literally 2 or 3 situations that exclude a property condition disclosure. Otherwise, the seller has to provide that, or they have to credit the buyer $500 at closing. That is written into the contract. So what does the property condition disclosure include? It includes a handful of about 40 questions that ask the seller any defects that they know to be wrong with the property. Please keep in mind that this is only the information and the knowledge of the seller from the time that they've owned it. It cannot be used for times before that and previous sellers. The seller is only privy to the knowledge they have during the time that they've owned it. So a lot of sellers will say, when there's questions about, has an oil tank or have tanks ever been buried under the ground, they'll say, well, I don't think so. Not in the time I've owned it. I don't know of any. But what if there were some 20 years ago or 50 years ago or 80 years ago? And at the end of the day, the questions come back to your knowledge as the seller that you have during the time you've owned it. There's also a whole section that has unknown. So if you're not sure of any of those questions, first consult your attorney, and then if you need to, you can opt for the answer that best fits you. When it comes to disclosing, we always say over disclose. Whether it's on these disclosures or just in the MLS or any type of situation, we always tell people disclose as much knowledge as you have. Whatever you've repaired, whatever you haven't, put it out there so that people are aware and so that you're covered. I hope this helps. If you have any questions about anything, please let us know. At the end of the day, when it comes to all the forms, when it comes to selling your house and the MLS and what we post there, it's always better to be safe than sorry, and just make sure that we put everything that we know out there so that we can work through it. We're here to help any way we can. Please reach out with any questions, and we hope you have a great week.